I have some books to share with y'all. Hoi hoi! It's louisity again, and as I mentioned in the previous clip, we are going to share some books, so it's another time for a book haul! Hooray! So I think the last one that I did, the pile composed mainly of books from the Manila International Book Fair. So for this pile, it is composed of some random purchases, some purchases that I did from gift certificates. Some of them are presents, and some of them are, some GCs that I got thanks to, my work. Thank you so much, work, for allowing me to get some GCs. So I decided to treat myself and treat my shelves, and buy some books, just to make me a little bit happy. But of course, I'm watchful with my spending, y'all. So I'm going to talk about basically what made me decide to buy them, acquire them, a little bit backstory with some of these acquisitions, and hopefully if I can share you what they are about, at least on the surface. I don't really think much about what the books are about. I mean, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but anyway, if you've been watching my channel, I've been telling that I read synopsis when I'm about to read a book. It's kind of like I'm gonna be in for the ride, once I am going to read them. But sometimes I get to know a little bit about them because of booktube. Sometimes they share some synopsis. So without further ado, enough blabbing, let us begin sharing the books that I got. Let us begin, with this book haul with something that I acquired from a free library. Now, if you're living in Metro Manila here in the Philippines, you are probably familiar with SM's Book Nook. Now, they have two locations. The first one is in SM Aura, and now they are in the Podium. So SM Aura in Taguig City, and the Podium in Mandaluyong City. Now, if you remember my bookish vlog where I visited bookstores around BGC, now you saw some clips of SM Book Nook and SM Aura, and I decided to grab Serafina and the Splintered Heart by Robert Beatty. Now, it doesn't have a sticker on the back that says Book Nook, so you can grab it. Basically, you can as far as I recall, you can grab books there that doesn't have a sticker, provided of course that you donated a book as well, which is the spirit of a free library, kind of in the US, grab a book, share a book, which is really wonderful. I love that we have those things. Now, here's the catch though. This is the third book, and I didn't realize it upon arriving home after that long day that I had, because I went somewhere after going to bookish places, and I realized this is the third book. I'm just gonna read the others first in ebook, and if I enjoy them, I'll try to grab the other copies of the series. If not, I'll still read this one, and then if it's just likable but not something that I would love, then I might just return this to SM's Book Nook, or look for a different a little free library or free library around the cities here in the Philippines. So we'll see how it will go. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to jump into the series. Serafina is one of the series that I'm eager to read, and yes, hopefully I'll enjoy them enough, even if whether I keep it or not, hopefully I would still enjoy the series. And as far as I know, the series now has 4 books, so just for your information. And in that bookish vlog, I randomly purchased books that I've been wanting to own, so that I can have a bit of progress in owning books in these series. I've been wanting to buy their copies so that I am closer to completing. And yes, one of them is already completed, and the other one is on its way to completion. Now, for me, I'd say I consider that this book series only has 4 books. I'm talking about the Descendants series, or the Isle of the Lost series, whichever you call it, by Melissa de la Cruz. And finally, after years of like searching, finally I have a copy of this one now. I have the copy of like the final book, Escape for the Isle of the Lost by Melissa de la Cruz, and I'm so happy, super happy that finally I own this one. And although like the books have been kind of like, I like them but not really love, I'm still eager of like continuing and seeing how, everything concludes, everything unfolds. And yes, it's a fun, like the children of the villains, basically, kind of like story, Disney villains, but their kids are not, are kind of far from the tree, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to read. And then the next one that I purchased, in the High Street branch, Bonifacio High Street branch to be specific. And I'm happy that, yeah, the customer service like told me that this is available, and I went to the area, and yes, I found it. Finally, I got 3 Keys by Kelly Yang. And you folks know how much I adored and love Front Desk by Kelly Yang. And finally, I can continue the series soon. Don't know if I'll be continuing anytime very soon, but it will be continued. And now that I have the second book, and hopefully I would still love it, or enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Front Desk, if not more. I just love how Kelly Yang tackles like heavy topics, but not too dramatic, not too hard hitting, that that would be suitable for like younger readers. And at the same time, it can awaken their senses. It can make them inquisitive about like the things that were subtly like talked about here. Did I say that word correctly? Subtly? Like subtle manner. The next book that I'll talk about is something that I bought from National Bookstore. And aside from being a fan of this author and like fan of their works to be specific, I wanted to attend the event knowing that I can have this book signed, so I've been wanting to meet Samantha Sato Yambao for years, and I bought Water Moon from National Bookstore because also the event is going to be hosted by National Bookstore. So yeah, I decided to acquire my copy and hopefully get to enjoy. This is kind of like, as far as I remember, kind of like fantasy, or like there are fantastical elements. I am guessing that this will be whimsical based on how Samantha talked about the book during like her book talk and signing. So definitely looking forward to read this one. I've enjoyed Forever After and Love and Gravity, and I'm looking forward to like reread them sometime later on in my life. And hopefully get to also read her other like self-published books. So hopefully I do. So yeah. Let us head on to my gift certificate purchases now. The first one I'm going to be talking about is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Now, I was contemplating whether I would own, this book, even, wanting to read this one, for years. And, I decided to like start owning books with cats, especially if they're like translated works by either Japanese or Korean people. Those are kind of like the thing that's running in my head. I mean, I'm still in my like middle grade / preteen like priority collection era, and I am entering in a new era where I look for like Japanese or Korean translated works that have like cats on the cover, or that are about cats. So you might see that a little bit more in my channel moving forward. And yep, I heard like the premise of it has something to do like with like coffee, before it gets cold, like obviously from the title. and now I was more eager. My one of my idols, who is an ex Pinoy Big Brother housemate, Kaori, read this one, and she, I believe, enjoyed it. So yeah, now I'm more motivated and eager to read this one, and hopefully I get to own the rest of the books in the series. And the last books, that I'm going to be talking about, they are part of a series. Now, one of them I use my fully booked GC, and the other one is a random purchase. Now, I am talking about Days at the Murasaki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagisawa. Now, I've been wanting to own this for some reason. I don't hear this as much compared to Before the Coffee Gets Cold, so I saw it before online as well as in one of the fully booked branches, and I was like, I think I want to own this. I know that there's a cat again. I believe this is a cat, right? It is a cat. It is. Anyway, I saw this in one of the fully booked branches, and I decided to use my GC, and yes, I decided to buy it, and I'm happy that Fully Booked has a service where you can have a plastic book jacket or a plastic cover. They offer that service for free, just so you know. So yeah, and then also, because I saw this in National Bookstore, and I admit I enjoy buying books there because of the rebates. Plus, I'm amazed for some reason whenever I get to buy books in National Bookstore, and I saw that this was available, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to take that chance of skipping it, of not exactly being part of my budget, although yes, my finances are still fine. But yeah, I was like, if I miss it, and then later on when I would read this and then I enjoy it, I would be having a hard time looking for it because I wouldn't be able to find it. I was just like, we gotta take a risk. So I decided to buy, More Days at the Murasaki Bookshop, which is the sequel, I believe, or the companion series, written by Satoshi Yagisawa. So yeah, and it's a matter of taking my chances now. Hopefully I enjoy this one for me to continue with this one. Either way, I will probably continue because I already have the books. So these are the books that I randomly acquired over the past months. So feel free to comment down below, what are the books that you recently acquired? Or if none, feel free to comment down below, what is a book, or what are the books that you want to acquire? Or if you're not really into buying books, maybe, feel free to comment down below, what are the books, or what is the book that you want to read, at the top of your head, what is it? You can just feel free to comment that down below. And if you've made it this far, let us leave a red square emoji. So I hope you folks liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. And also put down links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there and support me there as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye y'all.